Senate committee is meeting, the Committee on Women and Children, tomorrow to talk about sexual misconduct allegations at Louisiana colleges and universities, and all the head honchos of our college systems are testifying. You're going to be there, I'm told. You're on the agenda. My first question is there some protocol on how universities are supposed to handle these kinds of allegations?
There is protocol, and it's been fleshed out over the years in some kind of evolving ways. We've gotten smarter about what to do. Most of it is centered around Title IX, which is federal legislation, and the U.S. Department of Education provides guidelines on how to approach Title IX. Now, that's shifted over time, depending on who is in the office of the Secretary of Education. So we get guidance on how to approach these kinds of things. But the instruction is very voluminous. It's quite clear, and for institutions that want to be successful, you have to put the needs of victims as the highest priority.
So are we having hearings because things are going well, because everyone's following the protocols, because everybody's following the rules, or because they're not?
Well, as you would imagine, it's the latter, and there have been some significant challenges. And listen, there's a nationwide problem with sexual violence and what is referred to by a lot of folks as rape culture. And it's got complex underpinnings. There's some deep cultural challenges here. But listen to this statistic. 1 out of every 4 women on college campuses sometime during their career is a victim of sexual violence. Now, quite often it's not what you sometimes would picture in your mind, the stereotypical version of a guy hiding behind a bush with a mask on. Quite often it's acquaintances, it's friends, it's dates. And we have got to figure out how to shift this culture so that women, when they come on college campuses, feel like they're safe, they're empowered, they can live their lives, they can pursue their education, and not have to worry about predators, and the predators are out there.
Doc, sounds to me like you're talking, or at least the crux of the hearing will be the way you just described it, student-on-student violence. Yet in the news lately, it's more about...
Come on, the elephant in the room is Les Miles.
Coach-on-student problems.
So I want to be careful not to comment on someone else's issue, but I will say this. There is zero tolerance in my mind when a person we employ uses their position to violate the rights and to harm a student. It's despicable conduct. Now, there's due process for all parties in these situations, but when our presidents or when I am made aware of an instance of sexual violence or abusing authority, we're going to respond. We're going to respond strongly.
Jim, I'm sorry, I've just called you Jim for years.
How long you known each other?
82 years.
82 years. And
that's right. I remember that. It was 1947, I think.
Still have our teeth. No, we don't. Jim, here's my issue with this, with the Les Miles case, and let's forget about Les Miles for once. If there is a culture of people in the system knew there was wrongdoing and didn't do more or covered it up, what should happen to those people? I know you're a man of faith and you're a man of honor. You don't tolerate that in your system, but I'm afraid that in some of these big colleges, and I'm not just talking about LSU, I'm talking about, Alabama, Florida, wherever, they tend to cover up things and nobody is held accountable. Should people that cover things like this up, should they also be held responsible, and what should happen to them?
Well, there has to be accountability. Now, but let's think through this a lot, because you've seen some very, very high-profile things that happened at Penn State. We saw what happened in the years under Jerry Sandusky. We saw the travesty in gymnastics at Michigan State. Mm-hmm. And quite often, there are people that aren't directly involved that have a sense that something's wrong. But we have this issue as humans, this familiarity bias, that we see this person, and listen, I'm a devout Catholic. We see this in the Catholic Church at times when we have someone that we know and we respect and is a person of honor or success. We give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's the root of the problem in these high-profile cases. Nobody gets the benefit of the doubt. You have got to focus on the needs of the victim, follow the facts in a fair process, do the work necessary to take care of the victim, restorative work, counseling work, get them with the experts. We partner with a number of experts that focus on advocacy for victims. When you put them first and foremost, their needs and their recovery first and foremost, it doesn't matter who the respondent or the perpetrator is, and then you take appropriate action. For those that have knowledge and that actively participate and cover up, that's deplorable conduct that can't be accepted. Typically, it's less than that. It equates to the same thing, but it's how we can train those that learn the sexual violence how to overcome those biases and follow a process to do the right thing.
Our last minute. Your testimony tomorrow to this committee will be what? Are you calling for change, or what is your message?
Well, we're going to talk about some changes we've already made in our system. Last summer, we totally revamped our Title IX sexual violence investigations. If a student resigns from a university because they want to transfer somewhere else to avoid prosecution, we hold their transcript until we get through the investigation. So we've added those things. We've added a clause to contracts that says that failure to comply with Title IX regulations on reporting is cause for termination with cause. So we've put some safeguards in place. We're not perfect, and we're going to continue to revise and until we can get this right. We want our culture when a woman comes on one of our campuses, they can go to class, they can participate in the full breadth of the college experience, and not worry about perpetrators and predators.